Hey everyone, I'm joined by Boston Red Sox prospect Bobby Dalbec. I'm Sande Charles, and he just did an amazing Stances with Sandy, but now we're going to get to know him on a little bit different level, less baseball, more personal. So Bobby, you went to U of A and then drafted by the Red Sox, so spring training is in Florida. And now you're back for AFL. How different is Arizona from Florida spring training?
I've doing all the spring and practicing down in Tucson. You kind of get that little spring training vibe, especially because our home field is the Indians and Rockies old spring training complex down there. But it's the weather's obviously way different. I like the heat out here better as opposed to the humidity out there. But it's both awesome. Spring training is always fun.
What was it like? Take me through being drafted by the Red Sox. What was that day like for you?
It was crazy. We were in the Super Regional against Mississippi State down in Starkville, and that year was kind of an up and down year for me, so I didn't know when I was going to get picked up. And I was actually starting pitching that day in Game 1 of the Super Regional, and the Red Sox picked me up, and just kind of went to the field and focused on pitching. So it was kind of a big stress reliever that day.
A lot of guys talk about their headshot that they will show either on TV or wherever once they're drafted. Do you remember your headshot?
No, I don't really. I think it was probably just a picture of me playing or something like that, or maybe my like college shirt, polo.
So you approved. A lot of guys are like, oh, it's terrible.
Yeah.
So if you don't remember, it means you approved.
I don't think anyone ever likes their own headshots. So, yeah.
So since being signed, what's it been like being a part of the Red Sox?
It's awesome. It's really feels like a big family to me, and some of the relationships I've already built, I know are going to last a lifetime. So I'm not going to be happier.
So you went to U of A. 2016 was in the College World Series.
Yeah.
Man, what was that experience like?
It was fun. I think I made like 3 starts out there and on the mound and then pitching, but that was probably the closest feeling you get to being in the major leagues, just with fans in the stadium and being on TV on ESPN. So it was a really good experience for me.
How old were you when you started playing baseball? What was it about baseball that made you want to just keep going?
I think I started playing like in T-ball when I was about like 3 or 4 years old. Out in Seattle, my parents just were both big baseball fans, and I've loved it ever since. I haven't really seen myself doing anything else.
What's the best advice you've been told, either on or off the field?
You just got to take it, one pitch at a time. Honestly, it sounds cliche, but if you let the previous pitch get in your head or what's coming next get in your head, you can't really be in the moment. You just got to be where your feet are.
Is there anybody that you mimic your game after?
I grew up watching a lot of Alex Rodriguez, especially when I lived there. He was in Seattle, and then I've always just been a huge fan of him, and then Miguel Cabrera as well. Yeah.
Who would you say your MLB favorite player is current right now?
Current? I don't know. I love watching JD Martinez hit. I was a Red Sox guy, but for third baseman, I would say Nolan Arenado.
So the Red Sox are going to the World Series. What's that like now, being here, watching the games? Is there a lot of energy when you guys get together and watch?
Yeah, it's fun, because you can kind of like take these games and, almost put yourself like you're playing in, the World Series or the ALCS or something like that. So it's kind of like gives you more butterflies.
When you're not playing baseball here in Arizona, what are you doing?
I just hang out with friends, and I'm a huge. I go to a lot of concerts, like rock concerts.
Which one? And recently?
Yeah, I went to a new rock band called Greta Van Fleet a couple weeks ago, and that was one of the better concerts I've been to.
What was it? What are they called?
Greta Van Fleet.
Okay.
They're they kind of sound like Led Zeppelin, but they're kind of a hard blues soul rock band, and they're incredible. The singer's incredible, and they're super young. And then I saw one of my all-time favorites, Foo Fighters. Last week.
That was a couple weeks ago. Yeah. Was that awesome?
Yeah, it was awesome. It was like second row. They put on a great show. So much energy. And I've been a huge Dave Grohl fan. And, Taylor Hawkins, their drummer, is someone that's really fun to watch. So.
That's when you're not on the field. Now in AFL, you're seeing a lot of guys that you normally don't see in season. So who are you most looking forward to facing out there on the bump?
That's tough. I got to face Forrest Whitley the first game. That wasn't. That was a tough one after not seeing a pitch for a month and a half or so. But he's tough. Everyone's fun to it's fun to compete against these guys. Especially it's very hard. facing like almost one guy, a new guy every at bat. So that's kind of where the game is going now. Though you might only face a pitcher one time every at bat. So it's fun to get used to that and try to attack in certain ways.
Okay, last one, most important. Who is going to take the Territorial Cup this year?
Come on, U of A. Come on. Bear down. Let's go. Yeah.
Okay, go Sun Devils.
Yeah.
Just kidding. Thank you so much. For Bobby, I'm Sande Charles.